Leadership is on display in every corner of the greater West Bloomfield community, and once a year, the community recognizes the leaders who tend to not share the big spotlight each and every day. The setting, the annual Greater West Bloomfield Michigan Week Awards, whose nomination window is open right now. Joining us with all of the finer details on that process is the Michigan Week Awards Chairperson, Deb Macon. Deb, pleasure to have you on the show.
It is a treat to always be here with you, Tyler. Thanks so very much.
Yeah, and you know, I know it's an extra sweet treat for you because you get to talk about the Michigan Week Awards. Knowing you very well from our back and forth with your work with the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission, I know that this is the marquee event of the year on your calendar. And the great thing about it is it's about the people in our community that really do make Greater West Bloomfield so special. So for those who maybe are new to the community, they haven't heard about Michigan Week, they want to get more involved, why is this such a marquee event every year?
Oh my, I love that question. Tyler, over 54 years ago, because this will be the 54th Greater West Bloomfield Michigan Week Awards breakfast, leaders in our community thought, isn't it about time we too honored those who help promote, engage, contribute, and serve Greater West Bloomfield in primarily a voluntary capacity. And what makes it even extra special, this began as a state promotion even 70 years ago. And when Greater West Bloomfield jumped in, we stayed. We believe we are the only community that was part of the statewide promotion that stayed with celebrating its community residents, and the organizations that bring so much life and spirit. And you have an amazing photo on the screen. Last year, we honored with our highest award the retired police chief and the current fire chief, whose work has been extraordinary. And they are honored as volunteers because not only are they contributing to the health, safety, and wonderful life in Greater West Bloomfield, they go above and beyond in their voluntary capacity.
And they do, and those are leaders that we tend to see each and every day. They'd say it themselves, even after their awards last year, they said it to each of us as we congratulated them, that really the highlight of that day isn't people like them that do have a bit of a spotlight every single day, and they do a lot of volunteer work far and well beyond the duties of the jobs in which they have accepted and undertake every day. But it's those other volunteers, the student at his local school, the teacher that's taking extra time after school, not only to do all their work helping out her students, but also to help foster one of the clubs that needs leadership in order to exist. Somebody that's making those big impacts each and every day. Why is it important that we recognize those people that don't come forward for the recognition and give them their spotlight?
Our committee, who spends literally hours all year planning this, wants to honor the unsung heroes, the people who are quietly going about contributing in ways that many of us may not see. And you know, Tyler, one of the things we know is that everyone wants to be seen, wants to be valued and recognized for their contribution. And these are volunteers who say, oh no, it's not me. It's the work that's important. And these are the people who bring that service, bring that work to life. They're the ones who bring smiles to others' faces. And this is time for us to shine a spotlight on them. You know, let me add something really special for this year. You probably were going to ask about this. We are tying the theme for Michigan Week this year to the 250th birthday of our country. Every year we choose a theme and a gorgeous logo designed by Pam Zajac, which we're so excited to have unveiled every year. Our theme, United in Service. Together we shine.
And that is a great message that does encapsulate everything that Michigan Week is about. It's about recognizing not only the volunteers themselves who are making this massive impact on a community every day. One of my favorites from last year was recognized by the Township Board a couple of months before Michigan Week, Helen Campbell, who you may see regularly out at Town Hall just picking up trash off the ground. She doesn't do it because it's necessary there, really. It's a very clean environment, but she just wants to do that. And she goes out there and out even along Walnut Lake Road sometimes and will pick up that trash. She got recognized for that by the Township Board. She was very bashful about it. She just loves to do it. It's something she does for the good of her community. That's what we recognize. And we reached out to her to see if she wanted to come on the splash. She didn't want the extra spotlight. But this sort of award does really have an impact on these volunteers who are giving their heart, their art, their treasure in order to help Greater West Bloomfield. So after they do receive that recognition and they're at that big ceremony and they have so many people in that room cheering them on and thanking them for their service, how do they feel as Michigan Week Award recipients?
Well, Tyler, we always get stories, anecdotal stories, letting us know the importance of this. And there are 9 different award categories. So someone who wishes to shine a spotlight on someone they know who is doing great work really has an opportunity to customize that and decide for themselves which category they will nominate either someone they know or maybe an organization, because a couple of the award categories fit perfectly for the organization that individual volunteers are working on behalf of or are working alongside of. We hear that this means so much. And we know it because we get requests, or is there room for my grandmother to be there? My next door neighbor is cheering me on all the time. Is there room to include them as well? So this is really a family affair.
It is, and it's a large undertaking of volunteers too, just to even make this happen every year.
As a matter of fact, our team that makes this happen is all volunteer. We build our work knowing that there are 7 partners. There are 7 community partners, our 4 local units of government, Higo, Orchard, Sylvan, and of course, West Bloomfield Township, and 3 school districts are partners in this as well. And that would include Bloomfield Hills Schools, West Bloomfield Schools, and the and the Walled Lake School District. So we plan all year. Our whole intent is to see that those who need to be appreciated, those who need to hear and feel in a big way, you matter. Your work, your service matters. And I was thinking, if someone wanted to know, tell us about this community that we are thinking about moving to, just let them see what happens at Michigan Week's Awards Breakfast on Friday, May 8th at 7 a.m. in the morning at Temple Israel, our amazing host.
And if you can attend, that would be great. If you can't, civiccentertv.com. It'll be on our on-demand page that day, and you can watch all the past Michigan Week Awards from recent years as well. Get a little understanding of that because, Deb, as I mentioned earlier on, nominations for this awards ceremony this year is open as we speak. People can now start to nominate those special volunteers, those people making a daily impact in Greater West Bloomfield. What do they need to do? What information do they need to put someone's name in the hat for these prestigious awards?
our website, michiganweek.org/nominate. And there is a button on the website that will do that. The directions are very explicit. What we're looking to do is highlight those who either live, work, attend school, or volunteer in Greater West Bloomfield. But there are amazing opportunities for service that Greater West Bloomfield residents are doing on a world stage or at the state level or in another part of the state. So the main focus is, does this individual live, work, or attend school in Greater West Bloomfield? And tell us, not just a bit, tell us deeply about who they are and their service. We do ask for contact information so we can follow up. And there is an awards committee that reviews absolutely everything in detail and then makes recommendations and then moves forward who will be included.
Yeah, learn more about the Michigan Week history, including the statewide event that began way back in 1954 under the tutelage of Don C. Weeks, and the local version of it that we have every single year to celebrate our volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield. That is michiganweek.org, and to nominate, michiganweek.org/nominate. Just that easy. There's also a button right on the top right side of that page. You cannot miss it on michiganweek.org to get those nominations in. Deb, the time does go quickly. As always, time flies in Greater West Bloomfield. It's a busy community. Nominations just recently opened at the time that you and I are talking today, but they'll close pretty quickly. What's the deadline? How long do people have?
Until the middle of February. No new nominations will be accepted after February 13th.
All right, so February 13th is the deadline to get those nominations in for the 2026 Michigan Week Community Awards Breakfast. Recognize those volunteers, someone making a special impact in your neighborhood, in your school, in whatever group you may be involved in Greater West Bloomfield. If someone's doing something that's helping other people, which is helping the Greater West Bloomfield community, we want to recognize them at this year's Michigan Week Community Awards Breakfast. Deb, anything else for us before we let you go today?
Yes, there is one more thing that I have to say. None of this would be possible on the stage that it is without our partners at Civic Center TV. We are so grateful for absolutely everything. You all know how to show up. You make a splash and make this so real and so meaningful. We could not be more delighted, and we get such positive feedback from the way you share the stories, the passions of those who are recognized. Thank you so very much.
Well, I appreciate that, and on behalf of our entire team, I know all of us, from our general manager, Dave Scott, down the chain of command, all appreciate those words from you and others in the Michigan Week Committee. It's one of the toughest weeks of our year, but it's also one of the most rewarding days of our year, as we get to see those volunteers be celebrated in a beautiful morning right here in Greater West Bloomfield. Deb Macon, thank you so much.